Okay guys, welcome to our third electronics vlog, and once again on lasers. This is going to be on using a blue-violet laser on a glow board. And so before I show you that, first of all let me say Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. And let's see. We have glow ink is usually where I get my paint, my glow board paint from. And glow in the dark paint, and it's actually very, very expensive. As you can see, a half pint is $55, half pint $51. I actually bought a half pint of this and a half pint of this. This is the brightness rating. Here, duration, it says 24 plus hours. Here it says 12 plus hours. What that is after you hit the glow board with the laser, whatever you write or draw supposedly stays there for 12 plus hours. I generally found that it's bright for about 2 hours. And then after that, it's dimmed enough that you can write something else on the board. And I think the 12 hours is when it completely fades to black and you see nothing. In a dark room, you'll probably see something that you've written for 12 hours. And then you rewrite. You keep using this glow board over and over again. This is expensive paint. This is the solvent-based. You can get the water-based. It probably won't smell as bad, and it's a little cheaper. I got the solvent-based because I heard it's just very, very good. It's much better than the water-based. It gives the same number here, the 33,000. So if it does, and it's almost clear, you could probably put this on glass if you wanted to. I actually used a poster board that I picked up at Staples, and like I said, I used the solvent-based. You can also, and that was what was that website? It's just glowink, glowinc.com. To get there if you want that. And no, I don't even get discounts from these guys for this. So let's go back here and let's do glow stars. And what you're going to see will work. Here we go, Amazon. This blue-violet laser that we're going to do, it's actually a blue-ray laser diode, will work on any of this stuff that glows. I have a clock at home that if I point the laser at it, it'll glow brightly for a little while. So even if you just took some of these stars, you could hit them with the laser, and if it was a big enough star, why? They probably even sell glow paint here. Star explosion, glow in the dark. Now here we go. Okay. You can even write on the star itself, and you'll see what I mean by write on the star itself. Let's see if they have glow paint here. Yep, they do. It's up to you. I showed you what I used, and you'll see the effect that it has on the board. But feel free to experiment with something cheaper. This is 1 ounce of glow-in-the-dark green paint for $3.50. Get a couple of ounces of that and see what happens. But any of these phosphorescent glow-in-the-dark objects and paints and solvents should work with the Blu-ray laser. Okay, now before we go on to show you the video of us doing this, let me let's go to eBay and go 150 milliwatt Blu-ray diode. That should be good enough. This is just the diode. You don't want to get this unless you want to build the whole laser. Here is the whole laser. You've got to build the driver though. If you're up for it, it's only $33. And Jareb, this is usually where I buy some of my laser stuff. You'll notice I have this 70 milliwatt green laser. You'll see in a moment. Let's go to his store. And you want at least 150 milliwatt Blu-ray violet laser diode. You can get the kit. You can usually get it pre-built here, although I don't see it pre-built here. Anyways, you can get the kit, and this one requires 5 volts. The one I'm using, the operational voltage is actually 9 volts. It'll give you the schematics on how to build it and everything else. You could actually buy these components yourself and build it yourself if you wanted to. It gives you right there. R2, R3. I believe this is actually AB, so I believe this is this guy right here. Well, didn't do it larger. There's a multi-turn trim pot. And I believe when I built one of these, it wasn't the Blu-ray, but when I built one, I think I had to adjust it for 12 ohms. And you'll see in the electronics tutorials how to actually adjust these things and to use them in a circuit. Okay, so you want the Blu-ray or a blue-violet laser diode. You don't want green or red, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, let's get to it. Hi guys, welcome to another electronics vlog, and today we are dealing with what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what happens with the glow board with lasers. Currently on our board here, this is just a 3x5 poster board, and you can pick them up anywhere, our office product store. And this isn't the one that I use the glow paint on. As you saw earlier, we actually surfed the web and I showed you where I got the glow paint, and what I did was I painted one of these things. And what I want to do is I want to show you the what you can do. You can actually write with a violet or blue laser on a glow board, which is pretty neat. It's another neat thing to do with lasers. But first, I wanted to mention we have some different lasers here. We're going to try each one of these on the glow board. We've got a 150 milliwatt blue ultraviolet laser. We've got a 200 milliwatt red laser, and we have a 100 milliwatt green laser that we're going to try on the glow board. Now this, I just wanted to show you this quickly. We had done the diffraction gratings, and at the end of this video I'm going to show you we went outside with a 100 milliwatt green laser and did diffraction gratings. I'll show you that as well. But these things are actually, you wear them at Christmas time and you look at the Christmas lights, and whatever is up here, this one is a particular snowflake, all the lights on the Christmas tree look like snowflakes.
My head with joy. So I said, no, I wasn't.
Ridiculous child. You think you're so holy and truthful, when really it's only a vulnerable conceit.
Here are the Christmas lights I was talking about, the diffraction gratings, and that's what they look like when you look through the lens. Without the lens, with the lens. And they come in many
has accepted me.
I am so glad.
different...
Oh, dear sister. What joy.
That's just snowflakes. They have Santa and a whole bunch of other ones. And it's actually pretty neat. But the reason why I bring it here is because this is actually a diffraction grating. And you won't see a whole lot of snowflakes. I mean, we could actually make it and use another diffraction grating either before or afterwards, and you'll see a lot of snowflakes. But I just wanted to demonstrate this one quickly. This is a nice, neat 100 milliwatt green laser, as you can see. And move this out of the way, and just show you what happens when we shine this through. Of course, the further away you are, the better the effect. So, you know, if you projected this on the side of the building, it would be nice. I'm only a few feet away, but I'm sure you could still see what it does. Now, I don't know how well you can see that little snowflake there, but of course, the further away I can get, the larger the snowflake is. And, you know, if I shine it across the room at the wall, it's really large, but you don't see that. Anyways, I just wanted to point that out, because if you get these, you can do some neat little effects too. Of course, they're just plastic, so you know, there's a good chance your laser could melt them over time, but anyways, just some other neat things you can do with the lasers. Okay, so first let's take a look at our lasers. This is our 150 milliwatt blue laser, and I need a 9-volt power source, and we're just going to use this 9-volt battery right here. And I'm at home right now, so I'm not actually working with a board, but okay, there's our blue, and actually I want to make that so we actually get a sharper, more of a point. Okay, there we go. There's our 150 milliwatt blue laser, and this is the big honking homemade power supply, power driver, is our 200 milliwatt red laser. Once again, we need the 9-volt power source for this one. Make sure your positive and negative is right, because we've got no protection here, and you're going to blow up your laser. And there's our red, and you know, you can burn many things with this. It's actually powerful enough to burn stuff. I think I demonstrated that in one of the other ones. So it's a 200 milliwatt red laser. And then this is a 100 milliwatt green laser, and this requires 3 volts. And positive was yellow. And there's negative, and there's our green laser. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut off the lights, and I'm going to bring out the glow board, and we're going to try all 3 different lasers on the glow board. So basically the paint I showed you earlier, we painted the glow board with that paint. And my prediction is the only thing that's really going to draw on our glow board is the blue laser. So without further ado, I'm going to move these 3 lasers off. And I'm going to shut off the lights. Oh, these are just some, this is actually the 150 milliwatt blue laser. Because you could actually melt the acrylic lens, I actually got a glass lens for it. But it's not giving me the results that I had hoped. So I'm leaving the acrylic lens in there right now. Okay, so these guys are moved off of here. And let me get each of these ready. And we're going to do the blue laser last, because that's what I'm expecting to have the most impact. We'll actually follow the rainbow. We'll go red, green, and then blue. And let me turn off the light. Okay, now I have our glow board, which you may be able to see. I put here, and let's take our green laser. Of course, now it's dark, so it's harder to tell which is positive and which is negative. This is for our 3 volt, and this is the green. Oh, sorry about that. We have green laser. Now, you can see it on the board, but it's really not drawing anything. We don't see it drawing anything. So the green laser is negative for drawing on our glow board. Well, I'm sorry, I was supposed to do red, green, blue, huh? Well, we're going to do green, red, blue now instead. Not that it makes a difference. And I'm going to explain to you in a minute why. Now the green laser, this is the glow paint I used, is a blue-green paint. So it's really not the color. It has to do with the amount of energy produced in that particular wavelength that excites the glow particles. So let me make sure I got the positive and the negative. Let me make sure, let me put the laser down a minute. Okay, we got our negative. Got our positive. Times like this, I really wish I had my board with me. And now we have our red laser. And our red laser is not doing anything to our glow board either. You see no lines, nothing. Nothing with the red laser, which is, of course, exactly what I expected. Hopefully this is coming out good in the video. If not, I'll eventually produce another one. Okay, now we're going to use our 150 milliwatt blue laser, and down below there'll be links how to get these. If the links expire for eBay, they get mostly eBay, just do a search. It's easier to get the ones with the power drivers in them, and get the extra lenses. Okay, now we go to our blue laser, and we're expecting much different results now. Okay, so now I have the blue laser. Whoop, I don't know if you saw that already. I just touched it just a little bit with the blue laser, and already we saw, just give me a second, once again already we saw that little piece down here. You see that little piece right here? And I just touched it. So let's, look at that. Now that's producing results. Of course, if I could keep this laser on for more than a couple of seconds, you see what a nice effect we have with the glow board. Actually, if you wanted to, you could paint your walls with this stuff, and you could then do it. So here we go. Of course, it'd be nicer if we had a switch for this. Nice little peace symbol. And so it's pretty cool. Just another neat little thing you can do with lasers. Now the glow paint I showed you was very expensive glow paint. This will work with glow stars. It'll work with. My father had a clock where the digits on the clock actually glowed, and this made them very, very bright. So this glow paint is pretty good. It lasts, as you can see, this image is lasting a long time, and it's probably fading a little more to my eyes than to the camera. When I look up in the monitor, I see it actually quite good through the camera. But this was one of my neater experiments, and I think one of the ones that my daughter liked a lot. But so this can be done. You just need to know that you need a blue-violet laser, and like I said, and also get a on-off switch. And this is 150 milliwatt. You'll get different results with. I found that the 150 milliwatt is perfect for this. And I could even increase the size of the beam. And, of course I have to move a little slower. But as you can see, it's increasing the width of the line. And even moving fast, it doesn't do too bad at that width. So adjust it again. And of course the pinpoint is the best for this. So anybody could do this at home. Little glow paint. And like I said earlier, I recommend the water base should work, and the oil base smells horrible. I did it down in the garage, but once it's done, it's done. And it lasts for a good long time. It's a neat little project. Okay, let me turn back on the light. And see, you can see that that's all it is. It's just a poster board, and I used a lot. I used like a quart of glow paint on this poster board. And you can do many coats, or what I did was I did like 2 coats, and then I got sick of doing coats because it felt like I was going to take forever to do 10 coats. So what I did was I kind of poured the paint on it and just put a real thick layer, and it dried, and it worked fantastic. Okay, now I'm going to include a little, I guess, demonstration that we did on the roof with the green laser. Once again, green laser has no effect on the glow board. But the green laser contains the most visible light. So this is great. Green laser is awesome for light shows. Now if you notice, I turned the light back off, and most of our lines are still there. They'll be there for quite a while. That blue laser does a pretty good job at energizing these. So the blue wavelength, as you get into violet and ultraviolet, and there's a lot more energy actually in those. There's a lot less energy as you get towards the red, infrared part of the spectrum. And even though we can burn stuff with it, it doesn't really do a good job at energizing these glow particles. The sun would do a good job at this, and the blue laser is actually closer to that. Once again, let me mention, never ever point a laser at a plane. Never do that. So, but you can use them for astronomy. You can point them up at the sky. If you see a plane, just shut them off. What else? Blue. Oh, the blue really isn't that good for light show. It showed up good on the camera. It definitely does a great job with the glow board. But 100 milliwatt, 150 milliwatt blue, even compared to this 100 milliwatt green, is not very bright at all. And the red as well, the same thing. Green if you're going to do outdoor light shows. I got more time. Anything else I can babble about? Actually, I'm kind of stalling because I want you to see that this lasts a good long time, especially with the thick coat of glow paint that I have on here. So, hang it up in your living room and shut off your lights and do a little glow design. Okay guys, this is a 100 milliwatt laser. I told you I'd show you one outside. And it's pretty powerful. You can see that beam for quite some distance. There's some buildings way in the distance over there, and we have no problem hitting them. I'm also going to show you the light show. And this is just 100 milliwatt, by the way. We can go over this way. And, it's a pretty far beam. This 100 milliwatt will probably be about maybe 2,000 meters as far as the visible beam length. You can actually, if you were pointing this at somebody, they could actually see it much further away than for miles. And I can edit later on. Okay, now we're going to use the diffraction gratings, and of course this is very close. And we could actually go much further with this. And, we could light up the side of the building. But anyways, we're outside. We're at night. And this is just how the diffraction gratings look. There's one of them. Let me get one of the other ones. Another one. So we've got a little bit of distance, and of course we can get even more distance, and we can light up the sides of the buildings at night. It's 100 milliwatts. It's broken down to a couple of thousand points, so it's a lot less than 5 milliwatts, which is what a pointer is. And we'll do one more. I think this one's my favorite. Whoops. Just keep it rolling. Mm-hmm. Rolling. Oh yeah, this is my favorite. And of course, you got to get it lined up well. And there we go.